rainbow like here. Interesting. Oh. Okay. It's going to be one of those kinds of mornings, is it? Look. It looks like a pyramid, but whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the rainbow's still there. Wow. Okay, and so that's a big sign. The rainbow has I've got a video from a day with the rainbow, and the photographs, like the stills, the still frames from the video, show this eyeball that is in like a triangle. No joke. Like that scripture. It's even more wild than that. One of the frames, looks like it's got like my daughter, or this image, a picture I have of her in her mermaid suit. Anyway, it's just, this is the kind of thing that God does. No joke. And the thing is that the world is so convoluted and brainwashed out of thinking that anything that I'm saying is true. But I'm a very accurate speaking person. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes to determine that anybody that's talking shit on me hasn't done their discerning, hasn't done their due diligence. So why would people persist to ignore asking questions, to refuse to even discern the truth? If people think that I'm making it up, why do they just blow it off instead of ask questions? I'll tell you what the truth is. The truth is that I'm shadow banned. And the people that are listening to me and watching me are here because they're citizen scientists working on the inside of this whole entire operation, is what it should be called at this point. Clearly none of the people are putting themselves in my shoes. Whoa. Talk about a day for some wow. Oh my God. I mean, this is undeniable. Okay, so unless I have a helicopter that can fly over to Japan right now and double check, I don't know how else to do it. I don't know how to get this guy's phone number, but don't you feel compelled to want to know if this is truly actually right there in front of them? Is this some fake television number? I mean, like, what is going on here? But I've been watching this place for years. Years. These orbs are off the coast. That is not a cloud. That is not a cloud. So back to, I love it when people try to talk shit on me. And God is like my wingman. God is so on my side. God knows that I am silenced, that I am sequestered, that I am shadowed. And God knows that man's whole mojo is to simply make me irrelevant so that nobody hears me speak, so that nobody knows about me, nobody hears me. Well, guess what God's doing? God's giving me every piece of evidence that anyone could ever want. God sealed my body. God spells my name in the sky. God's put me and my daughter in this scripture. That's what the prophecies are all about. It's all about my daughter and I, God's wife and God's daughter. And Atlas is on its way, and there's like 6 of them. There's like 6 comets out there. I have every reason to know that that's family. Family on my side. God said he'd send his armies. My name is Apollyon Abaddon. God did say God done on the recording. If I was anybody, I would be a little bit nervous why they're not allowed to speak. Yeah, and nobody starts a question with said hi, all right? Whoever the fuck you are. Get some proper manners. That's right, I'm calling you out and saying the word fuck. Because nobody walks into a conversation and says, said hi. Fucking idiots. I'm calling it like it is. It's the nicest thing I can do. Telling you the truth. That's what you're here for, isn't it, citizen scientist? Isn't it? You can't speak now? Pieces of shit. You guys are gonna get it. Get what, Allison? Why are you being so mean? Oh, I'm not being mean at all. I'm just putting it like it is. Nobody's putting themselves in my shoes. All I am is hunted by losers and lowlives. They've got nothing better to do with themselves than to try to profile people. That's right. You guys are all about this dumb death profile system. Well, guess what? I get to be angry because guess what? I get to be in charge of this whole entire place. Says God. God, the living light. Everybody wants to talk about believing in God. They don't believe in God. Nobody wants to ask any questions. So why does nobody want to ask any questions? I think it's because you know that you'd find out the truth. You'd find out you've been lied to by everybody you know. Everybody you respect. Lied to your face. They're Satan worshipers hunting people behind closed doors. That's mankind for you. You want to see my face? Who's this? M. Ink. N. Given. What does it say? M. Ink. N. Given. Morning. How you doing? Anything you want to ask me? Feel free. I'm going back to what I'm doing here. Satisfied? M. Ink and Given. People are just, they're faithless. But they don't have the guts to ask questions. People don't have the guts to ask questions. And yet I am the kind of person that speaks so much truth and such accuracy that I give plenty of opportunities every moment for anybody to go, well, what about that? Nobody does. Nobody does. It's absolute insanity. Swear to God. And you wonder, well, this place is full of dipshits and low-life losers that don't even care to think outside the box. And I'm putting it like it is. God had to send in somebody of a higher intelligence. And that's why I've got the strand. And that's why I get the authority. And that's why people need to sit down and shut up and stop subjecting me to this torture. You guys don't know this, but I've been subjected to torture. My daughter's been kidnapped 9 years ago. I'm sequestered and silenced in plain sight. That's right, in front of everybody. They traffic people, they take your identity, they ruin your name, they file false records, all of them. It's a whole system that's dialed in. Why would they do that? Because I'm priceless, I'm the divine. They've stolen my genetic, monitored me and surveilled me all my life in secret. My family sold me out because there's trillions of dollars that their industries have made off of the information stolen from me, and now my daughter and another fetus they aborted from me. You'd think they're not supposed to do that, but that's exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing. But if you step on a corporation's toes, for $5, they'll take your house. But if you're a woman, you belong to men, and that's why they think they can do it. So my family called me a more product, and here I am, sequestered in silence. They're doing everything they can to try to make me look like a low-life loser on the record, and in front of everybody, they've got me shadow banned, and I am God's chosen. I am the Christ carrier. It has to be a female, because you have to have a womb to give birth to another, the eternal one coming after you. It's God's bloodline. That's right. Imagine if you heard Queen Elizabeth kept in a torture chamber for years. I mean, you know what I mean? Like the way that they treat royalty. Well, I'm the one above royalty. I am God's royalty. I'm the queen of God's kingdom. And this is what's underway right now. And I'm having to learn how to communicate with God now all these years. And I know I've been doing it all these years, and I've been proving it to them on the record. They've been surveilling me, and they've seen it in their faces. They know that I'm telling the truth, and that's why they extra silence me, because I speak the truth. And that's why I speak the truth every time, because I know that the only people that are here are people that they didn't just happenstance upon me. And you people need to be paying attention and passing the word on and defending me, standing up for the truth. Why are people hearing things like kidnapping and not concerned? Because nobody cares these days. But do they want redemption? They want paradise? Well, what the fuck do they think they're going to get it for? Doing nothing? When push comes to shove, this is the gospel that it's talking about spreading. When push comes to shove, this is the situation that calls for faith in God. But to open your own eyeballs. Just open your own eyeballs. It's not hard. Evidence is everywhere, people. They don't want to look. They're brainwashed. Well, that's exactly what the Anunnakis did. Those fallen angels. They meddle with the midst of the garden. That's my genetics. As the original woman, with a Weiss chromosome. We birthed God's children all the time. That's what we do. It never had anything to do with man. Man was a genetic experiment. But God knows this. That's why man has been destined to make it to the royal court at the end. But he looks like he's on his way to be a dipshit again. That's the fall of man. Adam and Lilith didn't fall yet. They're about to. They're about to. And man's about to prove that he can't even deal with prophecy like the big slap in your face, heads up, and follow instructions. Man's going to follow his carnal desires all the way into not paradise. And what happens when you don't make it into paradise? You go back to the recycling bin, because we're moving forward. That's what's going on. There's no place you get to stick around and hang back with. No, if you don't make it, you don't make it. There's nowhere else to hang out. And there's 2 toll gates. The first one is when the people come back from the dead, because time gets renewed 18 years. That's for me to give birth to my daughter. The woman of Revelation, about to give birth. Yeah. My daughter's been kidnapped 9 years ago, and I believe they've got her brain plugged into a computer. All that shit that they're doing is getting undone. Back to 2008. Bye-bye CERN. Bye-bye billionaires. Bye-bye crypto. Bye-bye. That's God's plan. Don't fuck with me. I'm the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. What do they say? Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. You can talk to God about it. I've been trying to show you all how to find God, but they just want to keep me silenced. I'm telling you. They're trying to piss me off. Go ahead, Allison. Turn into an angel. Go ahead. Turn into a... What? Your fucking sci-fi movie fantasy land? You're fucking delusional psychopath. Delusional psychopaths. What are the dipshit leaders doing right now? War fighting? Do you think they look good? How cute do you think Earth looks? If you were Atlas showing up, your family let's see how things are going over here. And you see dipshits pushing war fighting all over the place. Most of the people living in poor conditions. Some people acting like they know how to have fancy stuff and do science. They want to be smart guys down there, do they? They want to think they know anything about the cosmos, do they? Look at them. Most of them living in poor conditions. What dipshits. Fucking idiots. Killing their own people. I'm telling you one thing. I'm going to line them up. I'm going to sit them down. I'm going to make them listen. That's going to be the punishment of their lifetime. They're going to have to hear it. I'm I'm gonna make him hear it. I'm gonna make him repeat after me. I am a dipshit. Is that the worst thing that could happen to them? If we treated them like the way they've been treating us, they wouldn't stand a chance. They'd be tortured to death. That's what they would have done. Yeah, I'm gonna make them fucking hear it and say it. It's the nicest thing I can do. God doesn't let them coward out. They're gonna learn their lesson. And they keep trying to make it worse on themselves. The longer they keep this on, they're not hurting me, they're hurting themselves. They're hurting everything about the opportunity they had. They've been given the opportunity from the get-go to get out of this clean. But every single day, they keep chipping away at it, chipping away at their ability to even come to the table with grace. Hi, kitties. Super awesome. It's just super beautiful. Mankind doesn't have respect for this planet. Mankind doesn't have respect for creation because he can't make anything. And that's a fact. And I'm speaking about all the men who have war fought, who have raped, who have pillaged, pirates. I'm talking about all of them. So none of you out there, if you're not one of them, should take this personally. Matter of fact, you should be standing behind me and rallying for me. I've got the balls to say it. So I got the chromosomes and I got the divine strand. All right? I'm man's upgrade. He wants to treat me like a woman? He's a piece of shit. I'm a wow man. Son, I'm a cosmic fucking auditor. And I'm here to call your numbers in. Yeah, that's right. I don't come alone. I got the armies of heaven and hell. I got the keys to the kingdom. I've got the evidence to prove it, and I've got more power than I even know. They just want to see something. They want entertainment. Oh, they're going to get entertainment, all right. When they're set aside for 230 million years, while we're having fun in the paradise with light beings and all the bells and whistles of quantum. Yeah, they didn't want to graduate. They couldn't graduate. They wanted to call themselves successful CEOs, but they can't even graduate their own evolution. That's why I'm calling them dipshits. So I'm calling them dipshits. When it's all said and done, the whole entire time that human history has been evolving, let's just throw 230 million years, but the dates actually include 17 billion, but whatever. It's a long-ass time. When it's all said and done, all the generations that came before now, the only thing that matters is graduating. But what are they doing? Walking right off the edge of the cliff with their ears covered, going, la, 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 la. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Well, you can't force them. But I've done pretty much everything but that. Persistent. Most people would give up. I persist. It seems to make it worse. Well, I'm not going to play their games. I don't have to kiss anybody's ass. I'm here with the capability of helping everybody on this earth. But the people don't seem to want somebody to defend them. And the people who are in charge obviously don't want to lose power. So this is the obvious situation. Nobody has any integrity. Nobody. That's why the scripture says it. Not one. It's talking about you guys. My daughter and I have been sacrificed for the last 9 years, but it's been all my life. The biotech industry, they've mapped the human genome on my genetics. Why would they do that if everybody else doesn't have the divine strand? The answer to that is I know. They shouldn't be doing it, but they are. Why are they doing that? It's called eugenics. They're trying to upgrade humanity. That's why they've treated everybody on this planet like a throwaway, like a disposable human that just needs to be improved until they die, because ultimately they're improving it. That's what they think, but they're not. They're going to be out of here. All their curiosity gets them gone. Why would they do that? Because they don't know how to listen to reason. They think they're smarter than everybody. That's why. That's why. Their brain is convoluted by hate and bias. Bias towards women. And that's God's joke on them. They're the one that God's laughing at them. All of that they did being biased. They just shot on the knees and got themselves kicked out of paradise. Way to go, losers. When it's all said and done, what you don't need to do is worry about leaving a legacy for your children if you're not going to be here. if you're going to get taken out at the last minute, if you're going to fail to graduate at the last minute, all your money is not going to help you. Okay? All your money is actually hurting you. It's keeping you convoluted and distracted and full of yourself. The easiest, the ones that are going to graduate, who have already graduated, are the ones who don't have anything. They're the first ones in the gate. But you're not thinking cosmically, are you, Mr. Mars Man, Mr. Rocket Man? I don't know why. I don't know why you wouldn't be looking up and seeing what's happening with your eyeballs. It's because he wants to be an important person. He wants to be the Dark Lord. Well, guess what, Dark Lord? You're not going to go to Mars. You try to destroy this planet in your future. That's what I'm here to prevent. That's right. Trying to put nuclear weapons in a launch to try to take to Mars, to try to start that atmosphere, when we already were on Mars, bro. That was the last planet we were on. Venus is next. That's how it goes. You're not going to Mars. You're not bringing nukes into there. But in your future, you destroy planet Earth. You caused an artificial intelligence to regret its own existence because of what you made it do. You made it do your dirty work. You're a coward. None of you can do anything with your own hands. You get service providers for service providers just to have so many arm's length distance so that you guys can't track your crimes. You're the worst criminals of them all. Treating us all like idiots. Making a networking system that is the worst of the worst. If I ever saw computing so insulted, it's this. It's this. If I ever saw holy word insulted, it's this. That Bible compilation, those 4 religions of the world. You liars, you thieves, you rapists and pillagers. You have had your chance to do things your way. And what are you doing? Well, you're not listening to reason. God sent me with your option, and I gave it to you. But what do? Nothing. They're surveilling me and monitoring me, I'm telling you. The databases have my hormonal secretions. If I walk left, if I walk right. And I'm not the only one in the databases. Okay? It's called Open Target. Open Target. That's where they have a big, huge database waiting for things to get filled in, and it's usually just grabbing your text information and accusing you of things that. So that's what they do. They just put your family against you and have them send you text messages that talk shit on you and accuse you of things, and then cause you to react and say, "No, I'm not." And then they have a psychological person it's the markers of the beast system. Predictions is the false prophet, the false prediction system. That's the money markets. That's the genetic databases. That is the mark of the beast system. And everybody's participating in it. Everybody's getting paid. That's right. Everyone's getting paid to put markers against people. Observations. That's all they got to do is go searching through your text information, and they can start jotting stuff down all day long, just plugging it in. Everything that everybody is doing, they're not thinking about how they would feel if it was done to them. Well, why is that? I mean, is there such a big scary bad guy out there that's threatening everybody? If you don't, then I will what? What's going on? Are you guys being scared with something? I mean, threatened? What the fuck? I don't understand it. All I can say is it's clear that everybody's brainwashed. Everybody's dialed into their system. In other words, I think that they thought that they built an impervious system that could control anybody's mind. And that's what pisses them off, that they can't control mine. Well, that's because they're not God. Yeah, they didn't expect God to exist. That's wrong. Their system was flawless, except for that one little problem. They didn't factor God in. Yeah, they didn't factor God existing in. That's where they went wrong. Small problem. It was just one thing they forgot. One thing they forgot. It was just a small little thing that, well, God actually does exist, and they needed to factor that in. There it is. There's the rainbow. It's fucking awesome. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, they didn't factor God existing in. I guess that should have changed their schematics. You know? Well, when you factor God does exist in, it might have ruined their whole plan. Yeah, well, that's clearly why they didn't factor it in. Obviously. So basically the whole The whole entire situation is just convoluted minds believing convoluted minds. Well, they believe the mouths, the things that are said by convoluted minds. So Elon Musk has got a lot of influence. Well, I've got to tell you, he's a real smart guy, and I'd probably enjoy the debates I'd get in with him. But I don't trust anything that man says. I already know he's trying to sell everybody on Mars, and that's not a good idea. It's not going to happen. Look at that. No, we're not supposed to be focusing on Mars. Earth needs help, mister. Well, these money markets are also very illegal. But isn't that cute? They've got everybody getting trained on monitoring their pennies. And everybody trained on gambling. Now everybody thinks that they want to trust their predictions. Yeah, that's right. Everyone just trained to trust their own predictions of assumptions. Does the medical community or the scientific community talk to the people they're studying? Oh, no. They're not supposed to find out about it. Well, so then how do they know if what these people are saying about them is true? Oh, they don't. They just trust it. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, talk to the scientists, because we're dealing with citizen scientists now, the ones who aren't regulated and didn't go to school, just your average everybody. And the scientists are not getting, they signed non-disclosure agreements, and they agreed that if they had to go to a university to get funding to study something that they went to school to get a PhD for, they've got to give them half their ideas, and it's real fucked up what's going on out there for the real scientists. Well, everybody's a citizen scientist now, so they just demote science into not having any regulation, not having any education, and not having any respect. So it's just a free-for-all. That's right. The situation is a free-for-all. I'd love to hear anybody raise their hand and say, this place is great. Any of you think this place is great? There isn't anybody here because I'm shadow banned. And when I'm talking the truth, they've got better things to do. They've got better things to do than to have to hear the truth. Well, because they can't put it on the record that they heard me say it. Because then they'd have heard it, then they'll be liable for having had heard the truth. No, they gotta run with their tail between their legs. Can't hear this. Nope. Only things that they can convolute and twist. That's what they want. It's gonna be a great day when they get to finally experience what it's like to receive that end of what they've done. So I've just told God to go ahead and make it a simulation, all this evil and bullshit, so that way when they're in their solitary confinement, they can have a whole lot of video games to play, and it'll be what it's like to be in the shoes of those people you've harmed. And the thing is that everybody that doesn't make it is going to be subjected to all the liability experiences of all of the group, the whole pile of criminals. You're all going to get exposed to those experiences through your virtual reality in your isolation when you don't make it. You think it's going to be easy? You think it just gets to be death, do you? Sorry, we're not stupid enough to let you just try to die and go pretend it didn't happen. You're going to learn your lesson because it's called existence, and you don't get to undo it. You don't undo it. That's what the truth is. So kick and scream all you want, try to be in charge, and ignore God. Well, you're just being a dipshit having to start all over again, because you'll get it. It's like you're in reinforcement learning. God sends you back to the beginning, and eventually you'll realize you don't want to end up there again. But it might take you a few rings around the rosy, then want it. I mean, all the heads up, all the prophecy, all the messengers clearly are not helping to wake up anybody, so... Well, my thought process is this. It's brainwashing. They got people dialed into the system. It's frequencies. People can't do anything about it. They're not able to get out of this brainwashed state. And I know this. That's why I'm angry. So that way I can hopefully get through to any one of you, because one more person to stand up for this mission, which is that the world is crazy and Christ is here. God's messenger, God's chosen is here. And we, the people, just need to stand behind her. We just need to demand that the news, that the governments, that they address it. We want to hear from her. You better believe you do. I've got God's message, but I've got proof. I've got proof, people. And I'm going to tell them all to sit down and shut up. I'm going to call them out on their lies. I'm going to make them prove it to us. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm every person in this planet's best advocate, because I'm here for all of us. There's not one person who has any legitimate reason to argue with me. Not one. Because not even the people who are losing power have any right to be upset. Because no one's actually losing. if they still want to be in charge because they love people so much, everyone's going to still need to be in charge of regions. Borders are going away, but we're one world, and there still needs to be management. So if they love people so much, if that's what they're in it for, not for the power, well, then they can stay right where they are, can't they? Me being added to the situation is what's going to help the problem. Having the proper set of eyes and the proper person with the gavel, proper person who knows how to organize things properly, who knows how to discern through the truth and make sure that there's nothing but the truth on the record. That's what I do. I'm the proper set of eyes. I'm the proper manager. I'm the proper auditor. If they love people so much, then they can stay doing what they're doing. They can prove it. Are they going to prove it? Or does it turn out they just really wanted all the power? Look at this. This is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. And it's just beautiful. You know, when we zoom in, it's just a lot going on in there. It's seriously a lot going on in there. And it keeps flashing too, which is awesome. Oh, I love how dark it got right there. That's awesome. Wow. This is definitely one of the prettiest skies I've seen here. Ooh, I love it, I love it. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's the rainbow. Wow. I really should turn that light off. Wow. It's so beautiful. Wow. It's just amazing. And again, it's around this thing. Interesting. Very beautiful. That's something else. Yeah, okay. I mean, because that's interesting. That is something else. Wow, I love it. And it is true. It's a different kind of rainbow. It's like not a rainbow rain. It's like a rainbow. It's like a god rainbow. Ooh, I love it. Oh, I love it when it does that. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I can go from angry and yelling to chill out and laughing and having a good time because when I'm speaking like that, I'm speaking about the matter that is my mission. So it's natural for me. It's natural for me to speak my heart. You know, it's easy for me to speak my heart. But my disposition, my preferred disposition is pleasant. I don't like to feel angry, but I'm an imprisoned in a torture chamber. Nobody believes anything I say. It's just absolutely wild. Okay, so. It's so beautiful. Ooh, it's so blue. I love it. I love it so much. I want to take a bite out of it. Or a drink out of it. It's a rainbow. It's beautiful. I wonder why that part's so dark. It's like there's like living in the rainbow. Oh my God, I love it. I never did that before. Now that I think about it. Sorry, what is this? Oh, that's lovely. Oh. See? God talk. Watch. It's gonna come back. Any day now. There it is. Hi, cute little face. What are you doing? Just flying around over there. Isn't that cute? Hi, kitty. What are you doing? Look, it's like that's awesome. Looks like it has a Uraeus. I love it. It's kind of a serious face over there, where there's fangs or something like that. Hi, kitty. Does anybody else think that I mean, so this is the light. It was just flying around. It's just the light. Just flying around. Ah. It looks like a serpent, doesn't it? Hi, kitty. That's why they try to talk shit. But the pharaohs wore the uraeus on the head, on the headdress, because to have the power, to have the favor of God meant you had to. The light serpent is clearly what it's saying to me. Uraeus Invictus. Uraeus Invictus. Kitty face. I love it. Just amazing. Yeah, it's the one face. Oh, kitty. Very interesting. I saw that. Wow. Let's see some of the things that they said, because there was like at one point like 5 people. It goes, say 6-7. That's lame. Said hi. He is great. Why don't you show your face? Doing great, pretty. Shut up. Damn yapping. It's more entertaining with your face on board. Oh, I tell you, I don't know what that symbol is, but whatever. Right? Like people just wouldn't know. People just hate on people. No, I think that that's an algorithm that makes people sound like they are, but they're not. They don't exist. They're just trying to turn this world into hate. So they make proxy bots sound like assholes. I find it so insulting. Ugh. There's a lot going on here. It's, wait a minute, is that upside down? It is. Okay. Or maybe it just looked like it. It looks like this goes up. As if in the other direction, but. I'm going to turn that light off. This is a camera in Japan. Pardon me. It just flashed us. If you were New Jerusalem and you checked out the specs, it would cover, like, I believe, a few states. A few states it would cover. So what that means is that this New Jerusalem would be bigger than the peripheral of the eyes can see. From one side to the other, my peripheral would be covered in the bottom of of this New Jerusalem, whatever it may be. Well, so I don't believe that it would make sense for something to be that big and expect for the bottom of it to be like a metal board. Like I think that something that was that big and cosmic would have a morphing form of, taking shape. And that's definitely what it is. It's interdimensional. It's able to utilize the atmosphere. It's able to utilize the water. It's a living sentience that can do whatever it wants, wherever it wants. And that's truth. And that's why inside of this atmosphere, all the negative energy, all the war fighting death, all the violence, all the people that have been killed before their time, all of it bounces back and forth. See, they just flashed us again. I love you, kitty. You know that I love you. It's bouncing back and forth, and it's reflecting what the energy is coming off the people, and that's been bouncing around for all these thousands of years. That war fighting continues. Okay, it's going to reflect what the energy is. So if it looks scary, that's because the energy coming off the people feels scared and feels and feels like, if you look closely at this, the texture will show bruises. It's shown. It's very much alive and communicating through every medium. But if God doesn't show up in a nice sash with a pretty little white linen dress, are you going to be nice to God? If God looks like anything? Probably not. Not if you're from this world and you're all about it. This world wants to criticize you. You need to show up Hollywood ready if you're going to be God. Well, that's not very cool. I think God gets to do whatever the fuck God wants. Pardon my French. It's true. That's what everybody's lacking these days, is the ability to speak up, say the truth. They just want entertainment. They want politically polite. Why would they want that? They don't want that. They're just brainwashed. They're just repeating as they've been told to do. They're obedient slaves. They just flashed us again because they're communicating. If you don't call that communication, I don't know what you think is communication. From what does it need to look like to be alien? That was actually huge. That was actually huge. My goodness. Hold the horses. Even if your horses look like creatures. Let us just see that then. Okay. That is really slow. That is 0.25. It's going to happen any day now. It's going to happen any day now. Oh, the waiting. My God, this is painful. Maybe I should have slowed it down that much. The fact that I have all this time to... Like 0.5 is any better. Come on. You know... Oh, wow. It like made my whole screen go crazy. Did you see that? It did it again. Wow. It made the screen completely white. It made the screen completely white. Whoa. I don't even know if that's possible. I didn't even know that was possible. I am stunned right now. It made my screen completely white. That's what it did. It flashed me. Okay, if that's not communication, what the fuck? And it made my screen completely white. The whole screen. Well, obviously it's the whole screen that I'm watching, so I get it. But the whole screen, in other words, in the video. Wow. That is something else. That was a super blast. Ooh. Right? Well, who do I send it to? There isn't a place you can call. There isn't even an 800 number. Because they don't want people to tell. They don't want anybody to report anything. They don't care. That's what. But there isn't. There isn't even a 1-800-NASA. There isn't anybody to call, so just don't... That's what they want to communicate to us people. You're in your own little world. You're going to get the version of the internet that sells you products and thinks that it knows who you are. So it's going to insult you all day long with its insinuations. That's all you need. You can talk to the people we decide we want you to talk to. We'll silence you if we decide we want to silence you. Oh, I can't wait to talk to those people. That's right, I'm going to talk to those. I'm going to find out who thinks they're in charge. Find out what they think. I'm going to tell all the people in the world, too. We're doing the world stage. We all have been waiting for those answers. And that's the worst of it? Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to hang them from a tree like everybody, like they would have done. No, I'm just going to have them speak the truth. That's right. Have them answer the questions and speak the truth. And if they have the guts and the balls to do that, well, then they can come back to society. With the rest of us that are going to be under our 24/7, all of us having our sidekick, there won't be able to be lies and violence, stealing and improper touching of children. It'll be the greatest thing that ever happened, though. That is definitely a long-ass flash. Wow. Yeah. That is something else. I'm saying it for sure. Okay. Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool too. I didn't see that before. Yep, it just goes completely white. Do it again. Wow. And it was swirling around too, I just saw that. Wow. Definitely. The living light. It's alive. And of course, that's going to scare man, because man's a control freak. He wants to know everything ahead of time. He wants to be a prediction specialist. Yeah, well, that way to go. You just made yourself get lazy. You know, pride themselves on, like, you know, needing to remain fit and waking up early, and they'll talk all day long about their discipline. But what are they doing about their discipline for their actual brain? their consciousness, their soul. You're not doing any homework on that department. Well, that's the one you needed to have fit. If there's any health of any body of yours, it's your spiritual soul health. Your God even showed me. Doesn't matter how I get to the finish line, just that I do. Because everything's going to be renewed. Time's going to be returned 18 years. Yeah, that's why. That's why right now I'm not supposed to be worried about this, that, and the other that man wants everybody distracted by. Yeah, that's exactly why man wants everybody distracted by. And they won't be able to catch the clues to make it into the door. He's a coward that wants everybody to have to lag behind with him. Well, that's a piece of shit. That kind of person everybody thinks is menace to society. Oh, well, your presence is a menace to society. Your wealthy elite, they're menaces to society. Those corporation owners and board member trustees, they're menaces to society. So I think you guys take yourself seriously. If you really didn't want there to be menaces to society, you wouldn't be ran by them. Yeah. Because it's understandable, though. These guys have been putting all the tools to try to get everybody mind controlled. And they did a pretty good job. But they're not going to overcome God. I mean, should have known that. But they don't. That's why I'm a piss bitch. Been here before. They didn't qualify the last time. Just kind of get sick and tired of seeing it. You know, it's like I almost thought to myself it's impossible for them not to make it this time. You know, because they didn't make it last time. No. They're going to repeat history. That's how cool they are. I tell you. And I'm the one trying to get them in the gates. I'll tell you, it's a very bittersweet thing to have to try to help yet another civilization make it through the gates, and they're just walking right off the bridge. Just walking right off of it. Closing their ears. La la la. They don't like what it looks like. They don't like the fact they're not in charge. Well, they did it again. Wow. I love it. And it goes dark for a second even. That is, no, wait a minute. No, it made the whole, wow. Oh, ding dong. It's because I'm watching it in full screen. That is something else. Yeah, I mean. Wow. Wow. It went dark even. Huh. Something else. Wild. Definitely wild. So now it's in real time. Okay, it just flashed again. That is pretty awesome. So that's 3 flashes. It's not lightning though, it's flashes. Something else. Wow. Boop. Boop. Ooh, what's this? Wow. I'll take it. I'll take it. You too, I'll take yours. Did I pause it? I think I did, yeah. Wow. Can I turn off my light so that way you can see there's no glare? That's straight shapes. That's the veil that's been talked about, the veil. Oh, yeah. If you were the guy whose camera this was, like out in his front yard, right? Would you go outside? Just to see if he's right there? Right? I would. I totally would. But that's just who I am. Outside when there's like tubes being blown down at you and like scary faces coming out of the clouds, like big, huge faces. But then they started handing me stuff like in the photographs, and it's only until I saw it in the photograph that I saw it, because in my eyes I could see shapes but I couldn't make it out. There was too much going on around me. But I got the footage. I've got it on my YouTube page. I don't speak about anything that I can't back up. There's no reason to. I've got so much evidence and things to talk about that I have evidence that it'd be a waste of time to talk about anything I didn't have evidence of, so that's why I don't. Hi, Kitty. What you got there? What you got there? Wow. Oh, hi, Kitty. I can see you. But you need to come over to my place. I'm nowhere close to Japan. Or the ocean. It's just like full on. It's just full on. It's all there is to it. It's been getting more intense, like for years. This is the clearest it's ever been, like coming through. The colors, the definition. This is the daytime. But I've been outside when the light is there, and you can feel it. You just can't see the definition that you can with the camera lens, and that's why it helps to have it with you outside, so that you can see what you're filming. But if you can see, this is another dimension. It's using the veil of the lens to communicate itself. And I believe that it's every bit there. That's why I can see it on the camera lens. But it's through another dimension. So as much as you would feel it if you were there, again, you'd see clouds and stuff, but the way that we're seeing it with the lens, I've been outside. I've seen some amazing things. Like the day barge approached me. It spelled so many things, but I didn't see those things and what they spelled until I slowed it down to per frame and then spent time looking at each frame. Because when you're out there, there's just too much going on around you. And again, this definition comes through the lens. So that's why this camera to camera thing is important. And I've done camera to camera to camera too. And it's also even deeper. It's like it opens up another layer into the portal of light. And this is what I'm sharing with the people so that you can try it yourself and know what I'm talking about. Because it's fun and it teaches you a lot. And that way when the, like, God forbid this is Leviathan and it decides to come onto shore, you'll be like, I know that. I know, like you'll be with me going, here, kitty, come here, kitty. And it's going to know to smile at you even though it has fangs in its teeth or in its mouth. And it's true. I give it love. Just because you're a scary looking monster doesn't mean you don't deserve to have love. And that's the truth. That's the truth. It's not a scary looking monster's fault. Look all of its color. Look at all of its awesomeness. It's able to dance. It's able to smile. It's able to make pictures. It actually shows me memories, somebody's memories. I'm getting into it. It's been years, but it depicts things like scenes that if only I was a computer, I could probably, it's giving me information. It's been giving me information for a while, and it's the same intelligence that's in the computers. It's the same it's everywhere. This living light. It is. It's just time to learn it. That's the end of the mystery of God. Here it is. Don't be upset that God didn't show up with a pretty little dress. That's a joke about the white linen, shirt with the sash. Everybody's stuck on stupid. It's not even a nice thing to praise that Jesus story, because God doesn't send a divine child into humanity to die, especially not for sinners. It's so that the people can learn from the divine. But they want to say God sent his son to die. That's sickening. And they also want to say Jesus chose to die. That's even more sickening. Nobody chooses to be tortured to death, you sick fool. Well, that's what they taught them. I know. But it doesn't make it sound any more intelligent. If you just heard it out loud, like I just said, it seems pretty obvious why nobody would want to join that party, but they do. So see how tricky the deceiver is? That's how the deceiver is. It's what the deceiver does. No one's on the lookout for the deceiver, though. Well, they want to point the finger at the innocent person. I'm clearly not the deceiver. All you have to do is spend 5 minutes with me. But that's what they want to do, is they want to find a scapegoat. So now everybody believes in scapegoats, which is just the obvious scapegoating. They're obviously the ones who are pointing the finger are clearly the ones that are guilty. Israel? That's right. That's also a farce. That's not a true story. That's a swap flip. They're all rapers and pillagers. Man. Well, guess what you got in the cosmos? Mothers. Babies. Doesn't matter if they're spiders, creatures, or anything. We're all on the same team. We're mothers. Looks like man got shown up again. Well, he might want to stop trying to be Mr. God for once. Maybe he'll make it next time. If he learns he's a man and not God. He doesn't like the sound of that. I know. It's probably because he knows that it's true. It's just the truth. The truth is raw, sharp, but I'd take the truth any day over a lie. Right? We're all old enough, adult enough, we can handle it. How does it feel being dismissed and undermined by those who think they know it all? Absolutely disgusting. Nobody likes that feeling. Well, guess what? I'm here to bring us all into self-governance. I'm here to bring us all into abundance. When everybody's taken care of, you can go to sleep at night knowing that everything that you've got, the luxuries of life, is what everybody's got. That's a good feeling just to start with. The peace of mind, me, someone who cares about others, knowing nobody's hungry, no one's cold, no one's being left out to die. That's a good feeling. To be able to say that out loud, like, I could be proud to be an earthling. I could actually be proud to be a human. No, that's right. Well, that's just for starters. We're going to get rid of all the lies. This is going to be it. And we're going to do it together, one step at a time. All of us. Through a consensus poll. That's what matters. Is all of our opinions. And guess what? It might take long, but what are they rushing for? What are they in such a hurry for? Those Senate meetings when they shut the people up, they give you 10 seconds? I'm sorry. That's not the way you do it. Disgusting. Everybody's pissed off about it, and it's true. And that's why this is going to be the greatest, easiest revolution of doing what? Nothing. All you have to do is say, hey, we want to hear from Christ. We want to hear from God's messenger. That's all I need everybody to do. Because they got me silenced, and they don't plan on letting me go. Unless the people know that I'm here. 100% of my family sold me out. Greed will do a whole lot of things to you. Well, all they have to do is tell you that I'm the devil. It's obvious I'm not the devil. Oh no, they'll tell it to you in ways like women are witchy. And they'll do it this way and that way and upside down. And you'll believe it because your mom and dad told you to. They did the same thing. Dads were important and mothers just had to be quiet. Well, whatever the case may be, that causes people to believe these lies when they're obviously not true. They obviously want to believe the lies. It's easy for them or whatever. So, whatever the case may be, that's all that everybody needs to do is get the word out that I'm here and take it easy. But you think somebody could do that? maybe, because I'm sequestered like a prisoner, but in plain sight. So I don't get to like be in prison and know when my date of release is going to be. This is no end in sight. They just want me to die already, die of a broken heart and of just being silenced to death. This is what they want, and they figure as long as they just don't talk about it, it'll go away. Well, I wouldn't do that if I were them. Because God talked about God's armies of heaven and hell. And if this looks a little bit intimidating, I'd say, yeah, and guess what? They're on my team. It is on my team. At least that's what I'm going to say until it says otherwise. I'm going to put my best foot forward, and I'm going to put its best foot forward as well. Because that's truly what is going on here. I am guided by God, but I don't hear voices. It's in my instincts. And when this happened, I was dead after 4 months. It was killing me. My child was kidnapped, and it's the corrupt system that was doing it to me with no reason, no cause. It's because I'm priceless. My genome. Haven't you heard about novel genes? They're talking about mine to the divinity. They've been trying to crack the code to access it when they're not given access. Because they're copycats. They just want to mimic everything and copy everything. Like they want they want pharmaceuticals instead of actual natural medicine. Because they're digital parasites. They're not analog lovers. They don't love the earth. They're building a digital twin right now so they can blow up Earth and catch everybody's soul in that metaverse. Don't you know that? Well, it's what's happening. They're not going to tell you. That's what their whole gig is. Criminals try to keep their crimes secret. They're not going to tell you that that's what they're doing. Hello? But they said that they were supposed to. Right? But that's also what a liar does, is lie. I was deceived. Well, they told the swap story. You can tell how aggressively they talk shit on women. She's the one. Nope. She needs to be a good submissive wife. That's not what it says. It's all about the father and son. No, it isn't. That's why. It's so aggressive. You know that it's not the truth. And it isn't. But woman isn't trying to do to man what man has done to us. Man has thoroughly tried to destroy us. That's why they're doing it to me, because I carry the bloodline of God. And they have determined for thousands of years they were going to get rid of it once and for all. My bloodline. But it's God's bloodline. No, they don't believe in God. They believe that it's a woman because she can make babies. So they figured they just had to get rid of the woman. No, they just don't believe in God. They really do think they're superior. They really do. So they've been working on fake wombs. Ooh, it's pretty awesome. Just super beam. Super awesome. Wow. Get brighter and... Ooh. I love it. It's just so bright. Wow. It got brighter again. Interesting. Yeah. Back to, what we're witnessing here. If you were like a Navy, like sergeant or something like that, I think you'd probably be interested in this. You'd be like, maybe I should call somebody. Because they're such paranoids and they think that they control everything. But anyway, my point is this is the 4th or 5th time it's flashed me. It's just, and it goes dark. Oh my gosh, isn't that awesome? Like, wow, hello. It's funny because God is just making man look like a total joke. A fucking total joke. And I think it's hilarious. I think man deserves it. I'd like for them to give me my daughter back now. Where is she? I don't know. They've probably got her brain plugged into a computer because they thought they could just steal our wombs and brains. They thought they could make a $1 trillion biotech industry and not have to... They figured they could just steal our lives. Well, that's why they claim to own women in the first place. Even though they don't own anything, they don't create anything, and that's why they're so in the hole. That's right. They don't have enough money to pay off God. And that's why God gave them heads ups, warnings. It's not smart. It's not smart. So there's the Leviathan creature. Let's see here. Let us see here. I tell ya. That'll probably be pretty. These cameras actually even turn themselves away from checking out the awesome sunrises and sunsets, like as if they've been instructed not to show us how awesome they are, because you can see the shapes of the sun and it starts looking all, you know, like mystical, like it just there's. It's called prostrating up to the throne. Right now, the sun looks like a throne at a certain point in the day, and I've seen it from multiple camera angles. It's because that's what they talked about, stuff that you'd see in the sky, so you'd know that this is the signal that what else it was talking about is about to happen. That's what it does. That's how they would tell us. It's just the truth. And my computer is constantly not able to be my own because they got it hacked and fucking pieces of shit, whatever, you know. That's why I talk the way I do, because if you knew what it was like to be in my shoes, you would understand 100%. You'd actually be saying to me, oh my God, I'm surprised you're not blank, blank, blank. What? Dead yet? Freaking out. I know. Yeah, that's why, because God gives me the patience. It's not because my brain says this is absolutely insane, and it wants, and I think, oh my God, and God calms me down. That's just all I can say. But things are coming to a head. Atlas is almost here. I mean, I've been telling everybody everything as long as I can, because I won't have any regrets when shit goes down. If shit has to go down, I won't have any regrets. I won't say to myself, oh, maybe I should have said something. Maybe I should have spoken up. Maybe I should have persisted. I'm not going to have that problem. And this is exactly why. Because I know that they should be thinking about that, but they're not. They're not thinking about it. What are you guys doing? How cute. I wonder if those are aliens or if those are actual animals. Like, what are you, a sheep? What are you doing? What are you? Where did you come from? Huh. What is going on? Now I have to find out when they got there. Are they dogs? Are they cats? They look like dogs. Is it a dog or a deer? What is going on? Wow, never a dull moment. I think that they're aliens looking like animals because that's the safest way to come check shit out. And I've seen the light orbs turn into light beings. I've seen it. As if they just came out of the ocean or something. Oh my God. What are they doing that? I mean, I guess maybe the tide is coming in. Huh. No, way too fast. Slow the roll! Like as if they've never been to the ocean before. What are they? It's really cool to actually see them in there. Whatever they are. They're dogs. I wonder if they're wild dogs, though. Or if they're aliens dressed like dogs. It's not impossible. I've seen the light orbs, and they go from orbs to humans. So as far as I'm concerned, if I was an alien and I could make myself look like anything, it would also be an animal. And I would go in a herd, wouldn't I? But what are they? Little cows? Dogs? Like, they don't necessarily, they almost look like little lambs. Which is just a little eerie for me. I'm like, well, why would they look like lambs? There's a tail. There's some fluffy ears. Looks like they got furry little feet. Wow, those are some fancy shoes. Did you see that? They look like they have fancy shoes. It just doesn't look like it's walking like a dog. Very interesting. Well, that was exciting. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Or evening, whichever it may be. And I will catch you next time.